Hey everybody, I'm Scott Zellner and welcome to another Toy Wizard spontaneous toy review. That's toy-wizards.com. And today we're going to cover Shin Godzilla. And lately there's been a new Shin Godzilla by Playmates. And this is what they gave us. I don't exactly know what they were thinking when they made this toy. They copied the artwork from the Bandai releases. However, they're not vinyl toys. They are action figures. They're solid plastic. The spines are rubbery, but it's not a vinyl toy, which is what we were expecting. And I was looking at this going, how could they get something so wrong? And for an example, here is a Bandai Shin Godzilla. Now this one is light gray. This is an exclusive color. I couldn't find my all like natural color one, but the sculpt is the same on several of the vinyls. Bandai reused many of the sculpts. And you get these guys up here looking and you're like, well, you know, the body's kind of the same. You know, that's not too bad. But then what's wrong with the head? Why is his mouth so long, elongated and arrow shaped when it should be blunt? And it took me a while to figure this out. I just like looked at this guy and I thought, man, they didn't make Godzilla. They made this other like Ultraman monster, and instead they used his mouth. See? Right? You know, the Teleston here, and this is a bootleg of Teleston. His mouth looks more like Godzilla's mouth than Shin Godzilla's mouth is supposed to look like. He's supposed to have this kind of crushed up beak because later on it explodes out and really like, you know, does this giant force beam. And I figured out why this all looked the way it does. I went and saw the NECA Shin Godzilla. And I'm like, oh, hey, this is one. Fabulous boxes. I love NECA's Godzilla boxes. They take the movie poster and they make it part of the box. It's great. It's phenomenal. They get A+ for this all day long. However, when they made their Shin Godzilla, they elongated that neck and head in order to make the articulation. If we go back and look at the Bandai, you can see that he should have this smaller, whoops, knocking stuff down. He should have this smaller head, and it should be higher up on the neck. But they had to put it that way so that the head could move around, because NECA's really fond of making these things very movable, and it has this giant, you know, mouth opening gimmick. So in order for that mouth to open that wide, it had to be pushed forward instead of sitting at the top of his head like it's supposed to. And another thing I don't like about the NECA one is there is a crook in the tail there a little bit. In order to fit the articulation, NECA really insinuated that neck crook, or the tail crook on Godzilla. And so quite literally, what we see in the Playmates is they just made a low quality bootleg of the NECA version. The paint is so much superior on this, and it's double the cost. No doubtably, because it's double the toy. And so when they decided to bootleg it, they continued with the way the shape the head was. Now, apparently, when they made a toy, they never thought to, you know, go look at the original Japanese one and make it from this. They decided to bootleg it from this. And that's why we get this crazy looking head on Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla should have tiny little beady eyes. They put the eyes in the wrong spot. They like gave him giant white eyes when they should just be a bare minsable, like tiny little speck there. I painted several really large Godzilla vinyl kits for clients, and this is not how you paint it. This is much better, and I would like to go a little darker, but this is nice. It's not as good as some of the Japanese ones you get, but of course you're paying a lot more for that. For $30, NECA Godzilla is great. Now, these vinyls that you can get in Japan go for about 20 to 60 bucks. If it's an exclusive like this, it can go even higher. There's a special purple one only at Universal Studios. These are really, really nice. They're accurate. They're sculpted accurately. The Bandai always does, a great vinyl Godzilla. They know how to make Godzilla. They know how to make vinyl toys. NECA really tries hard with their Godzillas. They're not bad. This is not bad. I just, you really have to put his head up and then squish those legs back so his head is, it needs to be that. And so it's close to that if you do that. What they did is a travesty. Playmates literally just came out of the gate screaming and tossing around bags of puppies here. This is wrong. This is wrong on so many levels. If you look at the sculpt closely, they didn't even try to put in some details. They just kind of mushed some stuff together with ZBrush. I don't understand how they could get something so bad, or how Toho, the rights holder, said, yeah, that's close enough. We don't want you guys to get our stuff right. Was that a conversation? I don't understand how this is so bad. Why does this guy and this guy look alike instead of him looking anything like this? It's a completely different toy. So, yeah. I'm giving this Shin Godzilla absolutely no stars. And in fact, you should not even buy this as a revenge gift for somebody. Hey, I got you a birthday present. Haha, take that, sucker. It's a stinker. Don't even do that. This is that bad. Their packaging for this looks exactly like the Bandai packaging. They used basically Bandai stuff and just copied it. And in this case, they used a NECA mold and copied that poorly. However, these are really affordable. Some of the other ones aren't bad. They show in the packaging the Millennium Godzilla. That's fine. There's a big King Kong. They're all not as good. And the best way I can explain getting these Playmates toys was years of having Superpowers toys, and then suddenly Toy Biz gave us copies of them. They were here's Hawkman and Superman and Robin and Batman, and they're not quite as good as we had at Superpowers. You could, even as a kid, I'm like, these aren't as good. What am I buying Remco toys at Kmart now? What's going on? That's what we got with these Playmates. Some of them are good, some are bad. I like the King Kong. I'm waiting to see what stuff they do with it. But this is horrible. This is... It's what's worse than an F? This is a J grade. Why are you jerking me around? I don't understand. NECA, however, opening this guy up, killing myself to put the tail on, is not bad. It is definitely a B. He's definitely a B. A Bandai is always going to be an A. They know how to make Godzilla. It's in their blood. The NECA Godzilla box, fantastic. Everything on the NECA is great. Thank you, NECA, for putting out Shin Godzilla. I wish the neck worked a little better, because if you don't do that right, this is what you get. And they photocopied this and then drew in some details from memory. It's I remember kind of watching Godzilla, and I'm going to sculpt it from memory. That's what happened here. But this was their memory, and this was not correct. That is correct. So even just doing this to this, there's some issues. Especially in the head. The body's fine as far as I'm concerned. It's the head. And the head was so distinctive. And it was supposed to be that distinctive. It's supposed to be horrifying. He has this kind of little schnauzer. And then they give him a big schnauzer. And then Playmates were like, let's go to town with that and make it look like another Godzilla instead of Shin Godzilla. Like, were they angry at somebody? Was this on a dare? Did they just want to piss people off? Was this the last day of this guy's job? I don't understand. So please don't buy this. Go to Target or your retailer specialty store and get this Shin Godzilla. If you can find it at a convention, buy a Bandai vinyl. They're fabulous. I love these. And that's my Godzilla review. Hey, who are you? I'm that guy's brother. Okay, yeah, you look like it. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Remember, Toy Wizards. That's Toy-Wizards for your daily toy news. And I am out of here, and I'm going to bury this. Like, that's all you can do for the dead.